Come close. Did you know that most people already, currently, at this present time, no matter when you're watching this video, most people already make enough money to get rich? What up, you got Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and in this brief video, I want to talk about how most people already have enough money to get rich. The problem is they don't think they do. And if you don't think that you have enough money to get rich, then you're sadly mistaken. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about what many people do on a day-to-day basis might be very well costing them their financial freedom. It might be very well keeping them from being rich. You see, every day, every week, every month, most of us earn some type of income, whether that's from a job, whether that's from a business, whether that's from some type of retirement, or, some type of money that you're drawing in on a regular basis from different sources, whatever that may be. Most people are bringing in some form of income. Those same people who are bringing in some form of income are also spending a certain amount of income on bills, necessities, things that they need. However, in addition to the bills and necessities and things that they need, there are also people who are spending money on things that they don't need, that if they understood the amount of money that they were spending on the things that they don't need on a regular basis, it can make them rich. It can make them wealthy. So it's basically different stories out where there have been people who have made a salary of about $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, not a whole lot of money, but they've become millionaires using the concept of what I'm about to say right now. Some people know it as the latte factor. So basically it just states that it's a certain amount of money that you're spending on a day-to-day basis, every day, that if you added it up and instead of spending it on that and you shifted it and kept more of that money and invested it in order to flip it, you can be rich. Now, I know it sounds like an easy concept. I know it sounds as though it's one of those things that's like, well, I'm always going to spend some money on frivolous things. And that may be the case in your head, but you got to understand what it's costing you. So I'm going to just give a quick example. Let's say, and the reason why they call it a latte factor, because it was a young lady who, basically said she couldn't save money and it's impossible for her to be able to save $5 to $10 a day and yada, yada, had all of these excuses. Well, the instructor basically said, okay, let's talk about it. Let's unpack your day. Let's see what it is that you do from start to finish. She said, well, I wake up and, I go to work. And he said, hold on, did you just arrive at work? Did you make any stops before going to work? Do you have some coffee or breakfast or anything? And she was like, well, I do make a stop. I usually stop at Starbucks, just about every morning and I grab me, a coffee. He said, okay, is it just a basic coffee? What kind of coffee is it? She said, well, it's this non-fat latte. He said, okay, about how much did that cost? She said, $3.50. He was like, okay. Do you get anything else with it, or do you normally just stop there and just leave? And a friend was there with her and said, well, yeah, she usually get the muffin and I get one too. He said, okay, how much did the muffin cost? He said, $1.50. And somebody else was like, $1.50? Why would a muffin cost $1.50 as if it was hot? She was like, well, I get the low fat one or the non-fat muffin. So people started laughing. He said, okay, so we haven't even made it to work yet and you've already spent $5. And she was like, yeah, people started laughing because I guess they knew where he was going. Then there was another part of the day, a mini break, where she went and got this juice. And she had this juice and she added some other things to the juice in order to make the juice more potent. So she was up to about $10 minimum a day before lunch even kicked off, because she bought these things. And then when lunch comes, that's a whole nother conversation, because she's hungry by that time, because she's only had little light snacks up until that time. And now she realizes, wow, I can save $5 to $10 a day, because I'm spending $5 to $10 a day on something that I thought was minute, something that was minimal. But in all actuality, when you do the math, it's costing me $2 million plus every year, because I'm doing that religiously. So if you took that money, and we're not saying budget and save and, cut back on your lifestyle, but if it's the small things that you're not even paying attention to that can very well make you rich, and you can automate the process. So as an example, let's say $10 she was spending, and we're not even talking about the rest of the day. It's probably a lot more, but the $10 she was spending, let's say we're going to take half of it, and $5 of that 10, she decided, you know what? I'm going to cut back on this. I can make my coffee at home. I can do this, so $5 a day. I'm going to cut back. Well, $5 a day times 30, which is a month, is $150 a month. That could be going towards investing, and $150 per month in a year, that is $1,500 to $1,800. $1,800 that could be being invested. And if you understand compound interest, we've done videos on it. That's not what this video is about. But if you're investing $150 per month and you do that over the course of your working years, by the time you reach retirement, if you're familiar with the stocks and different things, you can get a rate of return of 10% or higher. And of course it varies, but that's a very, very, kind of moderate number. I'm being a little, I'm laying it low, because basically I have some stocks that got 20+%, 50% rate of return. So 10% is not a lot. But the fact of the matter is, if you're investing that money versus just spending the money, you put yourself in a position to where that $150 a month has the ability to multiply. And when it comes to the rule of 72, when it comes to investing, what that means is your money doubles every so often. The more you invest and the more often you're investing over a duration of time positions your money to flip and multiply. And when you do the math, she would have had about $2 million by the time she retired, all from cutting out that one thing, that latte. Now, the thing is, many people have a latte factor, as they call it, that's a lot more than just the $5 a day. It was another gentleman that basically he had about $16,000 in just food alone. He was spending about $250 a week on just eating out and didn't realize it. And this was somebody who thought that they had it all together and thought that, the concept of tapping into that small thing that you're spending every day, thought it was stupid. But when he did his numbers, he realized he was on the stupid side, meaning that $250 a week, $1,000 a month, and it was over $1,000 a month, so it was close to like $16,000 a year total when he did all of the math on certain things he was spending. Could have made him a millionaire a long time ago, and he was in his 40s. So the sooner you understand this concept, the sooner you tap into whatever might be causing you to not be able to invest, the better. Now, what I want you to do is get access to the 2 free stocks below. Click that link, get access to the 2 free stocks. And even if you're not an investor, but you want to get on track to investing, I don't care if you want to start with a little amount per month, but tap into whatever it is you feel that you have available that you're buying that's not a necessity. And if you do that, you'll find some hidden jewels and money that you can take and start to invest on a regular basis, and it may be keeping you from being a millionaire, because most people already earn enough money to get rich. The question is, are they looking at those small expenses and saying, it's no big deal, I'm just spending this on a regular basis, I deserve it? Or are they saying, you know what, by me not spending that and cutting back and putting it in some different areas, I could be a millionaire in 20 years just off of the money I currently make. Knowing that you have potential to make as much money as you like to make, but just off of your current income, you have what it takes already to get rich. That's all I got. Mr. Smith.5 or Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Don't forget to grab your free stocks below, and I'll see you on the next video. Salute.